Have you ever felt frustrated by the season of life you're in? I've personally been feeling this a lot lately. When things feel like they're not moving fast enough or they're uncertain, I start to get really antsy and anxious to move things forward. I get really impatient in these seasons of my life. But the older I get, and the more of these seasons I've lived through, I'm starting to see that these seasons are not wasted time. There is actually a lot still happening underneath the surface. All the stuff that's kind of moving behind the scenes, you can only really see and appreciate it on the other side of that season you're in. And it reminds me of Jim Rohn's analogy that life moves in seasons, just like nature does. There's a springtime, and this is when new ideas start to emerge and momentum starts to build. And then there's the summertime when everything is really in motion and alive. And then there's the fall time where you start to harvest the things you've built through the spring and summertime, and you start to store them up for the last season, which is winter. And this is the most quiet season until you start seeing those glimmers of spring on the horizon. And for a long time, I kind of treated those winter seasons of my life like failures, but they're not. Those tougher seasons are where you finally have the space you need to see things clearly, what you want, what you don't want. And you start to really notice what truly matters. You have to find ways of being grateful for what you do have instead of constantly just waiting for what's coming next. I guess what I'm getting at is even when it feels like nothing is happening, something always still is moving underneath the surface. And that's the unseen work that's happening in the hard seasons, in the slow seasons. It doesn't get much attention, but it does help build the foundation for that springtime coming. So if you're in a slow or uncertain season right now, today's journal session is for you. Here's today's journal prompt. What unseen work might be happening in this season of my life? What unseen work might be happening in this season of my life? Go ahead and start journaling on this prompt, and I'll check back in a few minutes. All right, we're about halfway there. What unseen work might be happening in this season of my life? Maybe this is a season of rebuilding confidence, or maybe it's about practicing patience, or maybe it's about rediscovering what actually matters to you so you can move into the next season of life with a little bit clearer direction. And that's time, but feel free to finish up if you're still writing your thoughts down. This journaling session was helpful for me because I think I realized that I'm actually really proud of a lot of the work happening in my life, but those things that I'm proud of are not things that will show up on a resume or in my bank account. I'm proud of how I'm treating my health. I'm training for a marathon right now, which has been really hard, but really rewarding for my health. But is that going to show up on any sort of real stat sheet for the world to care about or see? No, but I'm proud of it and I see it. There's inner work, my journaling habit. I'm really proud that I've maintained that and I've found such value in that. But is anyone in the outside world, the exterior, the rat race that surrounds me, going to care about my journaling habit? No, but I care about it. And I think what's really helpful about this is understanding that even when there are these visible scoreboards around us that surround our world, we can have our own internal scorecard a little bit. Maybe there are other things that are working underneath the surface. And almost all of us have something going right in our lives, even when a lot of stuff might be going wrong. So this session really helped me with that, which is cool. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for taking a second to journal with me. Please sign up for my newsletter. You can find that underneath here in the description. Like and subscribe to the channel. I'm really excited to see even a tiny bit of momentum starting to happen on the channel and seeing other people are really starting to build their journaling habits. So please continue to support the channel. I appreciate it. It means a lot. I'll be back soon with another guided session. But until then, keep journaling and thinking clearly.